Pastor Bradley Montsion, being awarded the Heritage Award for his many years of service to the Fellowship of Christian Assemblies. This was the vision.
Our journey into ministry began in 1976 at Dixon Gospel Temple in Toronto under the leadership of Pastor George Tunks. A song was being played at the altar time which said, "I'll go where you want me to go, dear Lord." And that was the call that God gave to me, and I realized He was going to take us further. In July 1977, I was driving to Fort McMurray to begin a new job at Syncrude for 4 years. We soon became members of McMurray Gospel Assembly. In 1981, I began 3 years of biblical studies at Temple Bible College, and then 1 year as an intern at Wetaskiwin Full Gospel Fellowship. That led to being the first graduate from TBC to be accepted with full credits at Northwest Bible College, where I received my Bachelor of Theology. I also received the highest academic award that year of 4.0, and also the one that the staff chose to be the one most likely to succeed in ministry. God clearly directed our major decisions of life. He spoke to Sharon and I about attending Bible college, going back to McMurray Gospel as their Minister of Christian Education with Dr. Humphreys from 1986-1992. On August 19th, 1991, we were driving by the Parkway Inn in Cornwall, and God put a word in my mind so clear that He said, if you ever start a church in Cornwall, you are to meet at the Best Western Parkway Inn, and the name of the church will be Fountain Gate Christian Assembly, and it'll cost you $95 a week to rent the rooms. We began in that location with that name on September the 6th, 1992, which was Miriam's 12th birthday. Shortly after, I was praying about a mission statement, and once again, He spoke to me while we were driving back from an evangelical fellowship meeting in New Brunswick. He told me then that our mission statement would be gently offering healing, health, and hope in a hurting world. In April 2011, we were able to purchase 6 acres of land with a 6,000 square foot building from the Upper Canada School Board for $190,000. In the membership meeting in 2019, I told the church that God wanted us to be completely out of debt, and we would understand by November of that year. That's when the Chinese COVID broke out. That remaining $60,000 was actually paid in full in August at the surprise of all of our members. 5 years ago, our church began preparing for my transition as senior pastor to more of an associate. Since that time, Pastor Victor Lalone has received his 3-year diploma at Clearwater Bible College, and the timing is still in God's hands as to when everything will be passed over. As for the FCA, over 20 years ago, I was asked to accept the position of Assistant Secretary Treasurer to work along with a great friend, Rick Orston. We worked together for many years, updating the FCA handbook time and time again, forms, policies. It became apparent that the FCA needed to have elders to lead its next development instead of administrators. And that's when the elder board was established, where Rick and I did continue to serve in administrative roles. When Rick retired, I was asked to serve as the secretary-treasurer for the FCA. We had already seen the need to hire a treasurer as the fellowship kept growing and secretary. So I sat also on the FCA media board for several years during the time they were redeveloping the website. We then expanded to adding areas of area coordinators across Canada, and during that time I was asked to serve as an elder, for which I did for 7 years from 2011 to 2018. Our church has granted me the time to do the work of the FCA, even though it meant that I couldn't couldn't devote all my time to build Fountain Gate. We were also entrusted to host several national conventions, with the last one in 2017 here in Cornwall. It's been an incredible experience to represent the FCA in these various areas and to see the membership grow from around 60 or so in the late 70s to around 480 today, with our expansion into Ontario and some of the maritime provinces. We each have our part to continue to do. It's now time to raise up the next generation of Spirit-led leaders. God continues to speak clearly when important decisions need to be made. Our duty is to listen and to obey His will for our lives. Thank you.